Is it different?
This is different. 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 This is different.
Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different, back with another video. Y'all know who it is, y'all favorite nappy headed producer, back with another video. Today we're gonna be looking at a more up-tempo R&B type of track. I do plan on doing some more slowed down stuff, but today we're gonna do a little I guess hood R&B up-tempo style, kind of the style of Chirs Brown or Algus Alsina, or Tory Lanez, maybe a little Bryson Tiller. I mean, just a more up-tempo type of R&B track that you can definitely rap to and sing to at the same time. Either or, it doesn't really matter, but it still has a nice musical feel to it. So I tried to go for a trap soul beat, but this happened instead. So it's all good. Still sounds great. And I haven't made no R&B stuff. A lot of you guys been wanting me to do R&B beats. So here we go. So let's go ahead and start off with it. So first off, talk about the key to scale I'm playing in. Now I am playing in a minor scale. So if you don't know the minor scale, this is an E minor scale. An easy way to do it, you can use your helper tool. Go to I think it's helpers, and then you go to highlight scale, click E minor, and blah blah. I didn't actually do that. I did it the old-fashioned way. This is a natural minor. It's not a harmonic or a melodic minor. This is a natural minor, so it's the E natural minor. So that's what I'm playing. So you can look it up on Google, blah blah blah, and it'll show you that. So basically, we compile the E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and then back again. So, what I did, I used the ghost notes to kind of give me some guide tools. A lot of people do this. I made a video a long time ago showing you how to do this. So it's nothing new. People do it. So it is what it is. So but anyway, let's get to the first sound, which is the Stage 23 by Arturia. I love Arturia plugins. They also want my sponsor. So I love their stuff. And this is a great piano. It's an E piano, as you can hear. So nice little E piano sound. You can see here go the notes right here if you want to follow the chords. I did some pretty basic chords right here, and I just added some sevenths into it, 7/9 into it. I think that's what they are. I don't know music theory, so don't quote me on that. But I did that to kind of add a little fills in there to kind of give it just a little bit more movement. Nothing special there. And I did strum it, so I did use the Alt S function to strum. And just give a little, and I did the Alt R, which is the randomizer, if you R, to randomize the value of the volume, of course, so it's not all playing at the same velocity. So it has a more human feel. And I softened it up by lowering the velocity to kind of soften the sound up. On the piano, all I had is a Fab Filter Pro R, my favorite reverb. It just is because I like the sound of it. I turned the character all the way up to give it a little bit chorus, and I made a pretty big room with decay of 4 milliseconds or 4,000 milliseconds or 4 seconds, whatever. That just give it kind of a big tail. And I cut the reverb from the lows a little bit, so you hear more of the highs in it. And I use the wet dry at about 25%. So if you want to kind of get this effect, just add like a chorus before you put it into your reverb. If your reverb don't have a chorus into it, because it sounds clean without it. So I mean, it's already got a chorus on it, as it's on the E piano, but then adding that chorus to the reverb gives it more modulation. It just gives a little bit more, feeling into it. So, it's subtle, but it works. Next I used a Serum, came to a Serum patch. Very simple. It's just my Space Sauce Volume 2 patch, the Drake bass preset. Like I said, Space Sauce Volume 2, MrDifferentTV.com. Go and get it. It's only $10. Use the coupon code MD20 to get 20% off your purchase. So yeah, it's just a Drake bass, you know, the low filtered saw type of bass sound that everybody know and love. No, let's go. You know, very low sounding, kind of give it some of that that bass frequency, that sub saw bass crap, you know, you guys love. Little EQ around 60 hertz, because that's where the kick drum is going to live, and I wanted to give the kick drum some more space. I dipped a little bit out of 60 hertz so the kick drum kick a little better. Plus I use a side chain to the kick drum, which I get to add a little bit. That just gets some space, but no extra effects. All the effects are being done inside of Serum, such as none, but just that. Next is a Synclaver V, which is another Arturia plugin, probably my favorite for them weird, crazy ambient sounds, FM sounds. This is the one I go through because they say this VST or this actual synthesizer costs $100,000 and it's old as shit, and you need a whole room to even work it because it overheats and can catch on fire. So crazy. As good as in a VST form. So I use a Chanting Chorus preset. Let's see, make sure I got no effects on it. A little EQ, but yeah, I use a Chanting Chorus effect. And I just pretty much picked some notes that were in the same scale. That way it's in key. And like I said, play with the piano. It has this a little ambient type of feel to it. And it's just a layer. It's just a little layer that adds to it. And I did cut some of the lows because, you know, we don't want to interfere with the low frequency. So just a little low cut or a high pass filter just to kind of, you know, cut the lows out so it's all straight there. Next up is Icarus, and it's another preset coming up to my up and coming preset bank for Icarus. Should be dropping this weekend for you guys. It's called Fast P, which is basically stands for Fast Phaser because it's a phaser preset. And it's just an ARP, but it has like a weird phasing effect to it. So and that's all in the actual patch. So you ain't gotta do none of that auto panning or nothing like that. It automatically does that, and it just gives some life to it. So when you have, you know, the notes playing, it gives some little sparkler, little happy feeling to these dark chords, you know what I'm saying? So definitely a dope beat, you know, can't get mad at that, you know what I'm saying? It definitely works. And then last but not least, I use the Worley V2 from Arturia. Basically it's another electric piano. Like I said, gotta keep that electric piano feel to it. It's basically playing the same chords as the Stage 73, but only thing is I'm affecting this one a lot harder than others. So I'm using Pro R, of course, because you know that's my thing, and I'm using Backmash, shout out to Freak Show Industry, just to give it some little bit of effect to it. So it's not just the same or boring as, like, I don't say boring, but it's just not as dry as the original. So definitely check out my review on Freak Show Industries Backmash, great tutorial. Cop it. You can get it for a discounted price. I did not know that you can actually go to their website and get it for free or at a discounted price. I mean, these motherfuckers are great. Like, Freak Show Entertainment, they're in the industries, I mean, amazing. So yeah, coupled with the other stuff, you know, hear this with the other piano, it just adds some life to the regular E piano. And it gives some nice stereo separation. Next is the actual percussion instrument. So we're gonna start with the hi-hats first because that's, you know, the more groovy type stuff. As you can see, I got a lot going on here. Not really, but I have my low notes and the high notes. I have like these really weird fast notes at the top, and it's just all randomized like the shit. Like you can see, I randomized the shit out of it, and it's just going ham. But it just gives some flavor to it if you hear. So yeah, it just gives some flavor to it. As far as the effects I got on it, I have a decimal, so I am bit crushing it. I brought the resolution down to 12 bit, so it's very bit crushing. I brought the frequency response, I think, down to about, I want to say, it should show it. Will it show it? Will it show it? Will it? Uh-oh. Well, it won't. That's weird. It won't move. Huh. Decimal. Okay, well, I can't move anything on decimal. It crashed on me. But anyway, it's 12 bit and it's brought down in between 11 kilohertz and 12 kilohertz. That's weird. And then I have just a reverb on it, 1 millisecond decay, and then 25, mix, and then just everything else is standard. Nothing else is affected. So that's the before. So bit crushing your hi-hats gives a pretty good result. I forgot where I saw that from, or somebody said that, but yeah, I tried it out, and it gives a nice little flavor. Distorting them or bit crushing them or whatever, affecting stuff like that gives it more movement and more life. Next up is a regular snare, nothing special here. I think it's got a reverb on it. So just a basic trap snare, and then layer it with another trap snare that's dry. So it has, nothing on it, like some dry piece of turkey. So. Basically like a higher frequency snare with a little lower frequency snare. And that just kind of gives it some body and some weight and gives it a little bit more beef to it, nothing special there. And then let's use the kick drum. The kick drum is they freaking arguing. I'm gonna beat some ass in a little bit. The kick drum, pretty good, very standard kick drum. It's in one of Johnny Giuliano's kits, the Holy Grail kit, one of my favorite kick drums to use. I'm using a bunch of effects. I'm not using the transient masher I was, but then I decided not to use it because it didn't work. But I'm using the VC 160, which is my favorite compressor for drums and snares, because it just adds some beef to it. If you don't know what a DBX 160 is, do your research. One of the best compressors out there. So I'm doing a little compression there. Next, I'm doing some saturation. So I'm doing a little bit of distortion. So you use any distortion plugin. I'm using the VMR Hollywood. It just sounds good. I'm cranking it to like 7 distortion, but I'm bringing the mix down to about 30. So if you got a distortion plugin, just crank the distortion and then bring the mix down to where you can hear it, but you can't. So this is what it sounds like with full, distortion on it. Let's just take it real quick. Unfucking usable. So then we just bring it down to about 30%. A lot better. It just had a little punch to it, a little crispness, and it kind of cuts through the mix. And if you want stuff to cut through the mix, distort it. Just give it a little saturation and stuff will cut through the mix. And then a little EQ. Actually, I used the EQ to figure out what was the main frequency, so I can actually cut it in the in this right here. So I was using, so as you see, if I bring up the So that's why I cut around 60 hertz, because that's where the kick drum was sitting in the so it wasn't interfering. Like I said, also with the side chaining, that just helped it out a little bit. It kind of made the kick punch. That's the beat right there. Did a little simple arrangement, nothing special in the arrangement, as you see. Just, made it to where it kind of flows together, made a little pre-chorus and the chorus and all that kind of stuff. And the hook actually has no drums in it. So that's unique. One hook does and one hook doesn't. So unique. Then we go to the master, and then we're using Ozone 7 isotope because it is just the best mastering tool out there, and I'm making a video about it. What I'm doing here is a little bit of dynamics, 1 band of dynamics to give it some glue, 30 milliseconds on the attack, 200 milliseconds on the release. So it's a slow, kind of transparent compressor, kind of a glue compressor. And I'm using a side chain, a high pass side chain filter. So it's only affecting the frequencies above the side chain, which are above 250. So anything above 250 hertz is getting compressed. Everything else is getting uncompressed. So it's not compressing as hard. I'm doing about 1 dB. I think about 1 dB, something like that. Because all you want to do is about 1, maybe 1.5 or 0.5 dB, because you're mastering. You don't want to do crazy stuff, all that crazy compression, everything you do inside the mix itself. Then a little EQ, mid-side EQ, which I'm doing a video on, because if you want your stuff to be more stereo, more wide, use mid-side EQ. I promise you it will make stuff sound wider in here. Like, I'll give you an example real quick. We'll just play. See, just with that mid-side EQ, you get a wider, clearer feel. Without the mid-side EQ, it was very muffled and very like, it just muffled as shit, which I don't, you know, I cleaned up, because what I'm basically doing is cutting all the low frequency from the side information, which is what you hear in stereo, and boosting a little bit of stereo field. And then I'm boosting certain frequencies inside the mono field, you know, to kind of give them a little bit more width. And it works. I mean, for me, it works. You know, experiment with it. I'll make a video all about mid-side EQ that will hopefully, you know, help you guys out understand it. And now I'm boosting a little bit of top end, you know, just a little high pass, a little high shelf, you know, in the highs to kind of bring out the air in the track, I guess you can say, just a little bit of air, not crazy stuff. And I'm using a limiter, ceiling at 1.5, which it should have been 1. Hopefully it won't do that, but usually I leave my ceiling at 1, and then a threshold about 90 with the IRC Intelligent Release Control 4 on modern, and it just makes a big difference in the master. I'll play you the before and after. I'm gonna keep the automatic gain adjustment so you can actually hear what it sound like at the same level with and without effect, without the effects on it. So here we go, so you can judge for yourself. I mean, you can just hear how much clearer it is to me. I can hear how it gets more wider, how it gets clearer, how I can actually see vocals sitting in the mix when I did the master. Like I said, because that mid-side EQ really did clean up the overall mix. I'm gonna start using more mid-side EQ when I do stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I made this little R&B, up-tempo, hood trap. I mean, hood R&B type beat, you know. Like I said, I'm gonna do more R&B stuff and more slowed down stuff and maybe more sample stuff and all that for you guys, because I know you guys have asked for it. We're getting tired of the trap. I know, Slim, no more trap. Do something else. Trap's getting boring. Trust me, it is to myself. That's why I'm experimenting with other stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Like always, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll make sure to do a video in whatever style you guys request the most and blah, blah, blah. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy like always, and I will see you guys in the next video. So guess what? Have a good one. I'm out.